IVM.
Hi!
Hey there!
I'm Farhad. This is GAYBCD, and with me is Sunetro.
Hey guys!
Slash
Hi,
Netro, our standard intro now.
Always, yep.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Sha. Is that an
Always the
adequate
joy.
answer?
Always the joy.
Sha. I don't know.
All right. I mean, let's just get right to it. So,
Sure.
Tell me like we start every episode.
Yeah.
How's your week been? And what's the best thing that happened to you? What's the worst thing that happened to you?
What's the best thing that happened to me and what's the worst thing happened to me that happened to me this week are the same thing.
Interesting.
Oh, where do I begin? A friend of mine told me about a hair removal cream.
Oh my God! Do not tell me you used it in places that you shouldn't have.
I did. I was like,
I've been there, done that.
You know, how do I say this? I have always front manscaped, but I've nenever backside manscaped. And it's not like I'm like a Sindhi, Gaddar kind of Sunny Deol vibe on my ass. But I thought, you know what? I've never done it. I'm a fair boy. Maybe my ass will look amazing if I just once, you know.
Yeah, and you went to the
so he told me, he swore by it. I never thought of this before. But he said, and why do I need it, right? Because anyways, like what am I going to do with like a smooth butt? So
hey, there's always a role for a smooth butt.
Yeah, he sold it to me. He was like, hey, you have to, it's called hip hop. Okay, this cream is called hip hop. And he said, I've been using it for years. I've never so much as got a red boil. So I was like, wow, amazing. Okay. Let me buy something that I don't need. I went and bought hip hop cream while I was at the. So the best thing that happened to me this week is my ass looks amazing. I did not know.
Now let's get to the burn part. Yeah.
The worst thing is it only lasted for 3 days. 3 days later, I got very, very prickly red spots all over my butt, and it was difficult for me to sit. And that's probably the worst thing. That's why today I'm like a little upright in front of you, because I've got a bout of the pricklies.
And I thought you were being uptight.
Yeah. No.
All right.
What's happening? What's happening with you?
Okay, so what's mine? What nothing nearly as physical has happened to me around this area. Okay. But okay, so what's the best thing that's happened to me? Actually, I'll start with the worst thing. I got invited to my to a college reunion. The fact that I was invited isn't the bad thing, but I can't be there, you know, reconnecting with a lot of friends. So that's like, it's a pity because, you know, a lot of us will be meeting up after like 7 years and stuff. But the good thing that's happening is I'm missing that.
This is Ranchi?
No, this is Pune. So I'm from SIMC Pune. Ooh. And so yeah, I won't be able to attend that. Okay. But the good thing that's happening
is by choice you're not attending? Or
so here's the thing. The good thing is I'm not going to be able to attend that because I will be. I'm actually meeting up with my friends, college friends from Calcutta. After it's like we're doing a getaway together, like a couple of us. After 10 years. So hence I'm not going to be able to meet my post-grad college friends. Okay. Like a choice has to be made. So yeah, that's the best thing that's going to happen to me. And we booked our tickets and I'm going to be in Jodhpur with my friends, and not that it's like, the place is the destination, but like the whole idea is just being there with people who've reconnect with people who really know you. Like you don't really need to explain yourself to them, and so really, really looking forward to that.
I just envy you so much.
Why?
Because I'm imagining you getting all these messages, hey, let's do this, and you're like, yeah, let's do this.
I'm
just not reply.
Hey, I'm not as social as you think I am. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, but
like you are way more social.
No, okay, I'm social in the way that I know everyone. Yeah. I don't know how that happened, but at some point in my life, I was just such an extrovert that I literally spoke to everyone. And till date, I get surprised. Sometimes I get out. And the number of people I end up saying hi to, I get surprised like, oh shit, how do you know so many people? But I know this kind of like reconnecting.
Yeah, like, but the thing with me is, I really hate human beings so much that I don't even like acknowledging people in public. And really, like, I have a resting bitch face, and people just get scared and like just leave. So yeah.
Okay.
But
do you think they'll feel like, oh my gosh, Sunetro is so different now?
I really don't think so, because I genuinely, there are so many things and I'm very proud of the fact that I don't think at the core I've changed as a person.
Yeah.
Of course we evolve, and like, you know, and we've met each other in, you know, separately, like different people.
Okay.
So we know the evolution of each person, so to say. It's not like we're meeting after 10 years and suddenly we'll have nothing to talk about. It's not that. But at the core, the reason why we're all friends still, and very, very thick friends, is because all of us are at the core that same person.
Sure.
So
that's so good. I just feel like that did not happen with my friends. It's my friends' fault. It's not my fault. They did not evolve. They all got married, had kids, and said things like, I would die for my child. And I'm like, yeah, no, stop it.
See, that's where you need a couple of gay friends, I guess. I mean, exactly like that. Which I actually don't have a single gay friend from college.
You know, that's what we should do, because considering our last episode was about school life, do you want to talk about college this time?
Yeah, it's like graduating. Yeah. Okay.
Go for it. Like what? What is college life like?
Well, I actually love, when I look back and reminisce, I had 2 stints in college. One was my, you know, graduation in at Xavier's in Calcutta, and next was postgrads at SIMC in Pune.
Okay.
And both the stints were beautiful for me, and way more than my school.
Okay.
My school stint. So I'll start with Calcutta, I guess. This was 3 years of evolution and coming into my own. Like, really. I think the first 2 years, in so many ways, physically, like in terms of my wardrobe, I was so... you know, restricted, and there was so much.
There is some kind of awakening that happens around college, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah, absolutely. Because see, that's also, and also I'm an art student, and that's also where you're getting exposed to a lot of thoughts that possibly were taboo, and possibly were almost shocking, you know, like shockingly liberal, you know, and you're being exposed to pop culture that you never knew of.
Sure.
Possibilities kind of widen in terms of people can be in these kind of relationships and blah 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 blah. So yeah, my first 2 years in college, I was first 1.5 years. I was a very shy boy.
Okay.
Within my friend circle, that's when I would be myself, kind of, sort of, but like not really. But by the time I came to the third year of college, that's when suddenly things became different. A lot of things that happened, like the queer side of me obviously found its footing.
It found an exit.
So a lot of things, I'll just explain what I mean by a lot of things happened. One was I started working. Okay. And because I was working, there was a lot of a sense of freedom and self-dependence and self-reliance. So I could wear whatever the fuck I wanted to wear. I could buy whatever the hell I wanted to buy. Yeah. So if I had a version, and when I look back, I think that version with my clothes today would be so envious of my wardrobe today. Sure. So like, I started working towards, this is the person I kind of want to be like, and not just in terms of a wardrobe, in terms of a life. I started
also
to build
because it's the first time in your life you're actually toying around with your look. Because I guess when you grow up in India or any country where you have a uniform for like 10 years, and then suddenly you're put in like this.
Any kind of vanity is kind of looked down upon, slightly long hair. Oh my God, you're just like bigger gaya
I
ladka.
Specifically remember all the torn jeans and the colored hair people way more than all the bland salwar kameez and regular. I don't know what I'm going with, but you know what I mean. I somehow all my friends are also those. It's kind of like, oh, I like this person because she has blue hair. Like that was also a reason for friendships. Yeah.
So as I started, evolving as a person, I was also in a very beautiful relationship with someone. It by far the most significant relationship, I would say, with a woman.
Oh.
And that's when we figured that there are multiple facets to everyone. And that's when we started opening up our conversations about, us having similar interests,
In
so to
men?
say. Yes, yeah.
I was just gonna ask you,
Yeah,
did
yeah.
she know? Did she
Oh,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And she was interested in women too. So it was a very interesting, very loving, open sort of conversation space, and a very safe space for the both of us. And that's why we started exploring possibilities. Blah blah blah. I don't want to get into details of that, but then. At that point of time, I remember what changed from the first 2 years to the second to the third year was how little people's reactions would affect me.
Matter.
So
They don't
how
matter.
little it would matter. I remember the first 2 years, people would pass snide remarks. Like I had a piercing, and then someone would pass a remark saying, "Oh, your piercing should be on the other
Right
ear."
ear mein nahi
Yeah,
hona
and I'm
chahiye,
like,
left ear mein
and they would say it as if I wouldn't get it. Okay,
Wait,
and
what
like,
is it? If you wear it in your right
I don't
ear,
even
you're gay.
remember. Yeah, like something on
But
those
if
lines.
you wear it in your left
ear, you're like
you-
virile, and what? Jeez, like get a life.
I'm glad because I had nipple piercings
Oh
in
my-
college, so nobody saw it.
Yeah.
Ah.
So I remember, this duo, like really like daft people who like I would never be friends with ever. So they would do this like repartee between them, and they would be like, he should wear it in his right ear, no? And I just chuckle as if
If
I
they said
wouldn't
it
get
like
it.
that, I would doubt their
I
sexuality
totally,
more than yours.
I know, right? I know. So
That sounds like Karan Johar in every special appearance he's ever made in a
Oh
movie.
my God.
But he's your best friend, yeah.
yeah. So
Was it Karan Johar?
no, sadly it wasn't. But so I remember that would affect me so much in the beginning years of my college days, and then by the end I would start. I remember starting to give it back to them. Like I started talking about like. I remember one of them passing that comment again on a pendant that I had, and this pendant had like a rainbow on it, and they were like, "Ooh, so I see that you're standing for like a certain community." I'm like, "Yeah, and you're standing for what community? Nothing." Like, have you seen yourself? Like I was really bitchy to them.
Again, the way you're enacting them, I really am convinced you went to a school of Punjabi aunties. Like you were the only young boy there, and everyone else was a Punjabi auntie.
Oh, geez. So yeah, that was by the end of the third year.
Yeah.
I remember it was. I really found myself. Because I was in a committed relationship, and we didn't want to stray at that point of time. We didn't want to open our relationship up at that point of time. So I didn't experiment really that like within those 3 years.
Okay.
But I was so happy with who I was. I was so clear about the fact that there can be fluidity within one person.
Yeah.
So that was my. Those are my 3 years.
Yeah.
Were you an art student?
I was a science student, and then I switched to arts because I failed. Yeah, there's a little story behind that also, but I won't get into it. We should have covered that in the mother episode.
Oh.
But
what did you study? Like,
I did science the first. What is it? 2 years. The first 11th, 12th is science, and then I did BA.
Oh, you guys have like junior college and senior. Like, right. We don't have that.
And see, that's the thing. I don't know, in a way, how to have this conversation because I went to college just for first of all, I was
for the degree.
I was in Pune too, and I went to Wadia College. If you're a Parsi boy growing up in Pune, you only go to Wadia College because. If you're a Parsi boy, you go to Dastur school, and if you in college, you go to Wadia College. Unless you're serious about your life, then you go to Ferguson College. Okay, and so I ended up in Wadia College, and where was I going with this?
What did you study? Yeah.
What did I study? I did science. I have no fucking idea.
And then
I have an idea why, but again, can I quickly tell you why I ended up taking
unload,
science?
bro.
Oh my god! One day before I was going to submit my art my art form, like form for arts after 10th standard, my mom asked me, what stream are you planning to take? And this is a time when I was not getting along with my mom at all. So I said, oh, I'm taking arts. And she said one line and it changed everything. She said, yeah, you're not cut out for science
Oh,
anyways.
jeez.
So
Trigger
I thought,
maths.
how the fuck can she think
Yeah.
that I can't do science?
Yeah.
So the next day I went and bought the science form. I filled it. I found out that my marks are not enough to do science. So through quota, because Wadia College is a Parsi college, I got a seat as a Parsi.
Oh, jeez.
Just to prove my mom.
Oh, my
then
God.
I failed. Then I failed in the 12th and I got the, I told you so. Then I quietly switched to arts. Again, what I was saying is nobody gives a shit in Wadia College. Literally, there was one rule in Wadia College. Never skip your practicals. You can skip as many lectures as you want. So what had happened was I did not go to college at all. For those 5 years, I was literally outside of college. I would just go for practicals and exams. That's it. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody failed you because your attendance was too low. Nobody gave a shit. But what happened was we started hanging out a lot at German bakery. If you remember,
of
German
course.
bakery. And this is when
When it was German bakery, not what.
there's like, I don't want to say firangs, but there are firangs all over. Osho vibe. So I started understanding, oh my God, like my parents first of all think I'm in college studying, but I'm actually just sitting beside some fucking stoner who's playing on his guitar all day. So that was my sort of, in terms of sexuality, I think I went full throttle. And I feel like the first time I actually got confused, I always say this, that I was never confused, like, oh, what is this? What am I feeling when I was younger? But when I was in college, the thing is, still college, I used to very vocally, like even if I dated a girl, I would tell the girl beforehand, hey, I'm into boys and girls. So if you ever find gay porn on my phone or PSP, don't freak out. You know? And it kind of they always bought it. Why should they not? I was really into girls too. I still am. But when I went to college, first time the question arose, how much am I into boys and how much am I into
gay
girls?
is
that happened for the first time. I remember specifically in college because not only did I fall for a boy, I fell for a girl too. And they fell for each other. And it really tore me apart. For the first time, I think I had a good look at who I was as a person because I threw so many bitch fits. I became like this seriously insecure, like, oh my God, how can you guys know each other because of me? And you all did this
how
to
dare
me.
You?
You're my boyfriend, you are my girlfriend. How can you be? You know what I mean? I was that kind of person.
Yeah.
And now I sound like every person in your college. But that happened. And it was a very confusing time for me because everybody kind of knew that, hey, these three hang out in a way that they are probably fucking each other. Like everybody kind of knew that.
Yeah.
So we always got those whenever we were in college. It was like there was a certain look reserved for the three of us. Like, oh, these are the menage a trois couple. You know? It was a very confusing time for me sexually. I was having sex. Apart from these two people, I was having sex. So again, and this is American Pie is happening. Sex and the City had just about come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was some sort of like revelation also, like sexual freedom and all. That I specifically remember happened only around college. It wasn't something that happened till school or like after college. It happened in college.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And just in terms of like relationships, did anything? Did you see different kinds of relationships blossoming? Like, for example, you had this menage a trois of sorts.
Yeah, they were
anything that's more conventional.
I did have a.
Were you surprised that you wanted?
No,
something
I was
so
dating a
conventional?
girl. I was dating a girl after this thing happened, and she was so sweet that I couldn't stand her.
Oh my God!
She was so overbearing and so loving and so caring that I just couldn't deal with it. Like for the longest, and that's the thing. It was also some of the best sex I had in my life back then. But like I just couldn't like deal with someone being so this.
Yeah.
But I also at the same time parallelly had this boy who was kind of giving me okay, bro, you can blow me kind of vibes. So I kind of started getting attracted more to this someone who doesn't give a shit about me, which is a trap a lot of young people fall for. And if any young people are listening to this,
please
just
don't.
snap out of it.
Yeah, seriously.
Snap out of it. It will consume years of your life, and you don't need to invest your energy into that kind of shit. But I was loving the chase back then, you know? So I specifically, again, if I have to answer it right now, I'm going through like a myriad of like confused feelings because I remember I clearly wanted to be in that three-way sort of situation because I love both those people.
Yeah.
But I also had a relationship on the side where someone who was caring and actually nurturing in a sense, you know, I did not want that, but someone who was treating me like shit, I wanted that. So it was a very confusing time for me.
So do you think today you would be open to the idea of a throuple? And just for people who don't know what that is.
I absolutely would.
Would?
I absolutely would.
Yeah.
Because
but like throuple in the truest throuple sense, or throuple in the sense that I am the conduit between two people?
No, just a throuple. You know, I'm always of the opinion, and somewhere I feel my philosophy is pointing more towards community-based living. I don't know why.
I agree.
A lot of times I feel like until that's the thing right now, abhi do ka relationship nahi kaam kar raha hai, to throuple to dur ka baat hai, you know what I mean? But sometimes I feel like if I am in a relationship, in a fulfilling, loving, caring, self-contained relationship, and if a third person comes around who's a great addition to me and my partner,
so be it.
Whoever it be, like if they also feel like this person would be a great addition to her, I'm more than welcome to adding another person. I want a fucking nudist colony without anybody being nude. I would love to live in that type of a situation.
Yeah, because one of the biggest insecurities that people have, and this is coming from a short-lived throuple situation I was in, and we'll come to that a little later, when I was in Pune. It didn't work because it was long distance, and long distance was like Bombay, Pune, and Barcelona. So yeah, it's a thoda complicated tha. So
and that time STD was too expensive.
Hello, I was in college. STD ki maa ki, like, you know.
Were mobile phones around at least?
Yeah, but like, you know, I mean, it wasn't the cheapest.
I remember I had my first phone around the last year of college. Last or second last.
I didn't have my first, I only got my phone after I graduated from college.
Okay.
Only after I graduated. And yeah, and like I had to buy it for myself. I was like, I don't want anyone to get shit for me. I will get myself. It'll be a Nokia phone which I can break someone's head with, but it's gonna be my Nokia
suddenly making
phone.
me feel so old because I remember back then
people won't even know what a Nokia is.
Yeah, I had a Nokia 3310, and I remember like just either being sexual in terms of sexting, like you had to type out whatever you're feeling.
No, there was effort in the typing.
And then I'm thinking, just like an hour ago, someone sent me like a video of him fingering himself, and I'm like, wow, times have changed. This college conversation is making me feel like technologically.
I remember the age of phone sex, like, you know, long distance mein, like wanking off, and like, you know, in college, like going into a corner and what is phone sex today?
Dude.
Like,
this opened an entire different conversation.
I know, right?
Because it was our first PC at home. We had a PC when, you know, that modem used to make that connecting sound and all. I had a lover in China because via Yahoo Chat. If you remember Yahoo Chat.
I have never,
No?
I've never used it because
MIRC, Yahoo Chat,
no, so
MSN.
My access to like chat rooms and all of that started with Planet Romeo.
Oh.
Yeah. So I am a little like, you know, thoda der mein aaya. So.
No, I'm telling you, back then, MIRC was one of the best. It was literally like a DOS type screen. And you go and you type a room. Literally, you can type anything. And if anyone else in the world has typed the name of that room too, so let's say I type Indian gay. Okay, whoever in the world has typed Indian gay suddenly are clubbed into one chat room and you can chat to anyone. So
it's like serendipity.
Yeah, and it's such a great feature. Think about it. Like right now on Grindr, you have your filters. But back then, you could actually enter a specific chat room where everybody who's into the same thing. Like I remember I used to go to Pakistani boys a lot. I used to type Pakistani boys. I don't know why I was really into them back then in college. But or Leonardo DiCaprio chat room. I remember but yeah, long story short, I used to have this, there was this boy, Chinese boy, who I was really into. And the thing is, our times back then, if I had to chat with him, it was 3 a.m. here. And the fuck up is, I'm not allowed to be up beyond 11 p.m. That's my curfew and all. So at 2:30 a.m., I'm connecting to the modem. And this is also at a time where your phone doesn't work if it goes engaged.
Yeah. And if someone calls, then it goes off.
I remember putting pillows and all on the modem. So my parents, it never worked. But you try to just hope that they don't hear the modem connecting.
That noise.
I really wonder where that boy is right now. I've not spoken to him in forever. And if this reaches him somehow, I will feel like my life has come full circle. I really will. Shang Chen, wherever you are.
Well, on that note, let's take a tiny little break and we'll be back in a jiffy talking about college experiences and more.
Call me Shang Chen, call me.
Even if you aren't Shang Chen, just call Farhad right now. See you soon.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another awesome week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you are not following us on social media, please make sure you do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. After crossing 10,000 on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, this week we crossed 5,000 followers on Twitter. If you aren't following us on Twitter, please do. Make sure that you see all the cool stuff that we put out there. We do some cool stuff on social media, just generally. You should check it out. This week we are launching a new show called Heal and Hearty. It's hosted by Rachna Chachi, nutritional therapist and certified cancer coach. She helps you understand the right nutrition, exercise, and lifestyle that keep diseases away. Show premieres on Tuesday, 15th October. In case you missed it, do check out our daily policy podcast called All Things Policy. It's hosted by the researchers at the Takshashila Institute who break down complex economic and geopolitical ideas through the lens of current affairs. New episodes are out every single day. It's a fun show. Do check it out. On The Scene and the Unseen, Amit Verma is joined by frequent guest Vivek Kaul. They break down Ponzi schemes in light of the backlash against oil. On Feeding 10 Billion, Varun and Ramya are joined by Gauri Devi Dayal. She's the co-founder of The Table, Mac Street Kitchen, and co-host of the Kolaba Cartel. Check that show out if you haven't, but they discuss sustainable dining on this one. On IVM Likes, Abbas, Rutika, and Antariksh talk about their biggest celebrity crushes from the past and present and recommend some films and podcasts that are worth your time. On Know Your Kanun, Amber talks about the Data Protection Act and the need for specific legislation. On Mr. and Mrs. Binge Watch, Janice and Anirudh talk about the Netflix show Unbelievable. Tune in to hear where it ranks amongst the greatest cop shows. On Paperback, Rachita and Satyajit talk to the founder of the Positivity Company, Birinder Ahluwalia, about the PERMA formula of happiness and how to be more optimistic. It's a crossover episode on the Empowering series as Ratasha Rathore, host of Agla Station Adulthood, joins Zarina. She talks about body positivity, adulting problems, and why it is important to inculcate self-love. And with that, let's get on with your show.
All right, we are back talking about college and our experiences.
Gayness in colleges. And straightness.
Yes.
We were a little bit of everything in college.
Yeah, exactly. Huh? And so did it inform any decisions that you made post-college in terms of the kind of jobs you wanted to go into, careers that you wanted to pick?
Yeah, I was always a loser like that. I wasn't ambition-driven ever. But if you're talking about like life decisions,
yes, yeah.
I'll tell you, like I said, I was in a very sticky three-way situation in college. That happened to me 2 more times after that.
Oh, wow.
After college. I don't know how I always found myself at the epicenter of one friend, another friend. I'm into this friend, I'm into that friend, but somehow those friends got along and I'm suddenly left out. And honestly, have you ever been in that sort of a situation?
So I have sort of, like I was talking about it, like this menage a trois situation, but then it was it really didn't last long, but it was a very equal sort of a situation, and it didn't last long because of the distance. Yeah, like I was saying.
No, for me, because I call it Kuch Kuch Hota syndrome, okay, which is basically Rani Mukherjee, Shah Rukh Khan getting on, and Kajol is like, what the fuck, am I too boyish for these guys? But that happened to me 2 more times, and I realized that the first time it happened, it really was, like I said, a great realization happened that I am a very irrational person when this particular situation happens. And I feel like life has a way to test you multiple times with the same problem in different ways to see if you've learned anything. It'll come in a different way, but it'll come. So it happened again once after college with my best friend and this girl I was into. And I sort of dealt with it a little better, but still, if I think about it right now, I
it was
cringe at
messy.
how I dealt with that. And then it happened to me very recently as an adult, where one of my fuck buddies was sort of like getting into one of my other fuck buddies.
Oh dear.
But I was very okay with it.
That's
time.
nice.
You know, like
That's
this
nice.
time I was like, you know what? I just remember I cannot be that person.
Yeah,
I am
yeah,
not
yeah.
that person. It's
Yeah.
not like, oh my God, I have to fight this and I have to stop being jealous and I have to stop this. But I felt like I dealt with it amazingly.
That's
So
amazing.
it's those few hard knocks that
Yeah,
they call.
I guess.
Those happen. So in that sense, I guess college, that's the only thing I learned. In a threesome type situation, don't freak out. That's what I learned in college. I have a major in that. A PhD.
And in terms of, are you in touch with any of those people or just like,
None.
moved on?
As in Facebook friends,
Yeah.
kabhi like, hi, one of them is in jail. Out of the one of these three-way situations, he's in jail for selling LSD.
Okay, no shout outs to him then.
No shout outs to him. Although if he's listening to this in jail, shit, I'm so sorry this happened. Xiang Cheng, LSD friend, I'm so sorry. Life did not turn out well for you guys. What was your question? Sorry.
I mean, I forgot.
Am I in touch
Yeah.
with any of them?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm literally in touch with nobody like that, except my, just surface level Facebook friendship. Arey Baba, how you been? Tabibi, you're the same, all that kind of bullshit. What about you? Like, what did you learn from college life, beta?
First was, I think I became a pathologically self-aware person in my 3 years in Calcutta. By the time I graduated, I was clinically clear about what my flaws and what my strengths are, and especially in relationships, I kind of figured what works and what doesn't work, and that's why. You mean
that in a good way, like
in a good way,
kind of self-scrutiny.
Yeah, yeah, but also it kind of fucks you up sometimes, because sometimes it's nice to have a build a fantasy in your head to kind of go with the flow, and I just am incapable of that, and that's why a lot of people live beautifully in a world of fantasy, especially when it comes to romance, and that just doesn't work for me. So that was something that like I learned, and I had 2 stints in college. One was this, and then I had like a 2.5-ish year of I was working, and I was a journalist at that point of time, and I like slutted around that time. Like I really like went around.
Shame
like
on you.
Oh really now? so I was in a very toxic relationship with someone who was, and I was 21 then, someone who was 15 years older than me.
Okay.
And that's when I realized this whole idea of how self-aware I am. I remember being in that trap of, this person cares, and this mentor sort of feeling.
Dude, he was a guy.
He was a guy.
Okay.
And that's the first time when I was exposed, like post my college, school relationship. That was the first time I opened up to my. Actually, that was the first time I opened up to being controlled by someone.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And in the process of allowing myself to just rest in someone's arms, I think I became subservient. And slowly, gradually, I realized how much of a mind game it was.
Yeah.
It was
an abuse of its own kind.
Oh my God, it was abusive. And so in so many ways, in the kind of gaslighting that occurred, it was crazy. It was like around 7-8 months of just pure torture. 3 months of beautiful sort of getting to know each other. And that's why I call it like the most beautiful mistake I've made in my life.
Okay.
But anyway, that happened. And ever since that happened, it completely changed my outlook to life.
Okay.
Today, and every single relationship I've had since then, I've been very clear about being, not putting someone through feelings of doubt.
Okay.
I'm very transparent about what I feel, and hence when I stepped into my postgrad course, it was a 2-year course, and it was on the residential campus, on a residential campus, and I kind of ended up in a relationship. I'm not going to give too many details because this person's not very, I won't. He's not
in jail.
He's not in jail, but he's not out at all,
Oh,
like 100%.
okay.
In fact, we kind of fell out over that point. That
Okay.
I don't think I can be in a
Sorry, you're still in touch with this person?
not so much anymore.
Okay.
Primarily because I don't think I can be in a relationship with someone who's closeted anymore.
Sure.
I don't think I have the bandwidth
Yeah.
anymore. So can't deal with that shit.
Yeah.
So while it was beautiful on campus, it's secret places to kind of do things and just discovering each other, and also because you're staying on this one campus, is like Shutter Island. You're staying with each other, you're eating the same food.
Sorry, did you say you did things on the campus? Wait, did you sneak that sentence in somewhere?
Sort of, kind of.
Oh shit, SIMC. If you are listening.
Hey, I'm not the only one. I'm just
I can
saying.
imagine them walking around with
Oh
those
my
sperm tube
God.
lights and there's like
Jeez.
blooches
No,
everywhere.
but it was amazing because we had so many shared experiences on the campus, because you get lonely. You're cut off from the world, and it's not like you have access to the city and humanity all the time.
And plus you were away from home.
Yeah, both of us.
Yeah.
And so we found each other, we discovered each other, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But post the 2 years, the problem was he was discovering himself, and I just realized that I don't think I can handhold someone beyond a point when it comes to a relationship.
I feel it.
I can't be someone's relationship tutor, and that was one of the biggest revelations for me. It's okay to I can do that for people I'm not in a relationship with, but it just became hard because anything anything that everything would be almost hurt for him. So for example, if I spoke to someone about we're in this beautiful thing, but then because we're not in the same city, it feels like things aren't at its best. He would take that as, oh my God, are you trying to out me? And there was constant paranoia. And that was something that I was not okay dealing with. That was something that
It sounds toxic.
It kind of went there.
In fact, you're saying all of this and I'm thinking about how I was at a point where I also, once you grow up, you can't deal with closeted people.
Yes, yeah.
Like, you're like, yeah, this is not my headache, you figure it out.
Yeah.
And now I hook up with so many straight guys, and I'm okay with them being closeted as in what I'm trying to get at is now, as long as it's not a relationship. Back then, I feel if I was in college and I met a straight guy, I would have been in a toxic relationship where this person is all like, hey, no, we are in public and all of that. And I would be like, no, please hold my hand, But now as an adult, I feel like I can be someone's escape, but that's all I can be. Because so many times it happens where once my straight guys, they start figuring out, oh, you also hook up with other people and all. Then I'm like, no. You figure it out.
Yeah,
this is not my headache. And I don't even let it go beyond that. It's not like some sort of, okay, let's talk. I'm like, no, I'm not having this conversation. If you're out, figured it out, then we can be a thing. But otherwise, until then, please don't do this fucking bullshit with me. And I love that sort of power play that comes when you're older. You have more control over.
You're okay
you can
cutting
dictate.
ties. Yes,
Yeah. You can dictate how things go.
But while you do that, do you think, are you a nostalgist? Do you...
Immense.
Really?
Immense.
Yeah?
Immense. I'm one of those people who smells things after years. You're also talking to someone who, certain friends, one of my best friends, I still have his toenail.
Oh my God.
car. I'm one of those people. I have these little things from different friends who have
And it manifests in tangible things for you.
Yeah, which I'm trying to get over.
Yeah.
But I tend to, my roommate, she's moving out next month. We've lived together for almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
and I'm getting so stupidly nostalgic
Aw.
about it. It's killing me. It's killing me. Apart from like smelling her undergarments, I'm really like just
okay.
like I'm gonna miss you so much. I smell. She has a habit of putting Vicks and balm all the time.
Yeah.
So now whenever I get Vicks, cause I'm like she's leaving.
Okay.
I do that. That's yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's not so much the tangible stuff. It's
Hmm.
just, parts of the person that I choose to remember, which is why I think even the most toxic
Penis.
people. No, I'm not a penile person. So there are certain elements and aspects of the person that I continue cherishing. So the person I was in a relationship with on campus, I don't think I'll ever forget all the things I learned from him, all the things I learned of him. He was, we were very important to each other's growth at that point of time because we were in very similar places at that point of time. We were struggling with the whole idea of, making a life for ourselves when a very different thing was expected out of us. And so I do always cherish those little parts of, these people. And over time, I just end up forgetting the negatives, just let go of the negatives.
Which is,
And-
I'm sometimes so glad we talk about this kind of shit because
yeah.
these are learnings.
I
that,
swear.
And we are at a very
We've
beach
been
maker
there,
age.
yeah.
We are not
We've not
like
been there, done that.
geriatric.
Yeah.
We are not geriatric
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
I've seen life and all.
Yeah.
But
We
so many
sort
times,
of kind of
I
have-
wish someone when I was 18 would tell me that, oh, hey, this relationship does not work out because this person will eventually
Yes.
come. This relationship did not work out because another person will come. And everybody will bring their own set of values, feelings, everything. And just everything in the end will be a fucking learning curve.
Exactly.
Whether someone treats you like shit, whether you have a great relationship, whatever it is, in the end, it's all a big learning curve.
Totally.
And it just gives you some sort of buoyancy the older you get.
Yeah, I know. However, do you think that in the era of your, college days, things would have been different if you had Grindr and Scruff and...
I would have had 2-3 STD. if I had Grindr in college, to khalas. Like, oh my God. Yeah, because first of all, it's a very testosterone-filled time in your life. You know what I mean? You're young, literally. If a movie like Call Me By Your Name came out back then, I would have probably masturbated my dick till it fell off. Like, I would have, you know what I mean? But, how would I have, would it have been easier? No, I just see, because I'll tell you what, I have friends right now who are 18 and 19 and 20. And I see how they have Grindr.
They have access
to
people,
access
so to say.
to Grindr. They have access to a world of porn. And I don't want to be like, oh, we had it better in our time than you do. But I actually feel like we enjoyed the thrill.
The thrill, right?
Of
the chase.
so many things. Of so many, whether it's meeting someone over Planet Romeo. That wasn't around in college, but...
It was around
again,
my
it was just
time,
like the thrill of being beside a friend who might be, might not be. Okay, we kind of joked off, but that, that not only sexual thrill, but just the thrill of, I'll give you an example. And I'll say it, but a lot of my younger fuck buddies, they have boner issues. Okay, like a lot of them are not being able to get boners. And the only time they can get boners is when they watch porn. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. And I actually had this entire conversation with my therapist once, and he said, you'll be amazed by how many young kids are dealing with porn addiction. Like, so much so that not only is their perception of what sex is supposed to be based on the porn they watch, but now because real life never matches up to porn, they just feel like they cannot.
It's not good enough.
That mixed with cigarette smoking, that's a big one. They smoke cigarettes like fuck. Again, I know how I'm sounding like, अरे आजकल की generation porn देखती है, cigarettes पीती है, दारू पीती है. But it's so true, back then it wasn't like, there was some sort of like persecution, if that's the word. I don't know. There was some sort of like hiddenness, even though I feel like I lived very openly. Like I said, college life was full throttle. I went out, nipples, pierce, sex, here and there, everywhere. You know what I mean? But it just had some sort of realness to it. And now living in a time where I also live with Tinder, Grinder, Bumble, Humble, Horny, Scruffed, Hornet, you name it. I just feel like that easiness robbed all of that.
I agree.
It really robbed all of that. It was such a beautiful...
You know, the one thing it has robbed out of the entire experience is the human part of the experience.
Which is why I feel there are so many times... There was a time where I used to feel so happy I'm gay because of the love of dick. But over time, I have been very thankful that I'm an 80s kid. I know what the feeling is that when you have a cassette player, but you've played the 2 cassettes that you have so much, and one uncle is coming from abroad, so he's going to get you 3 cassettes. Then VCRs, then floppy disks, you name it, CDs, DVDs, Blu-ray.
Like we've seen the struggle, we've seen the evolution.
That mixed with just cycling endlessly, pointlessly.
Just looking up, you know, the whole idea of looking up has become so alien. Everyone's just looking into their phones.
I feel like I must justify whatever I'm saying does not come from a place of technophobia or
not at
today's generation again. But I just feel like
where's the experience anymore?
Nowadays I just see so many young, again, especially college kids who are so frantic when they have nothing to do. And their idea of doing something
I would wish for that.
No, their idea of doing something is instant gratification online in whatever sense. You know what I mean? I have friends who go swimming who still do all the good, But I just felt like we had too much of it back then, and now we don't have that. I like the balance of that.
Yeah, true.
I'm not a sourpuss that nobody wants to go on a hike because the last thing I want to do is go trekking right now, especially when it's so slippery and rainy and shit. But I feel like college was the perfect fulcrum or that perfect moment in time where it was open, it was organic, it was natural. Whoever you fucked, whoever you fell in love with, it had nothing to do with technology back then.
And this is gonna
maybe
sound...
landline. Landline.
Oh, I do not miss that though.
Oh my god.
But it might sound very weird, the way I'm gonna frame this, but I've also tried in my own little way in how I've interacted with the community and for personal reasons, like, be it hookups or be it relationships, I've tried my best to retain that one element, the human experience. It really helps me.
Yeah.
Because
looking for it and you find it?
I insist on it.
Okay.
I insist on it. Yeah. That's why I don't, for me, and again, to each his own. Yeah. Everyone has a right to dictate their kind of fun.
Yeah.
For me, an experience, with someone, a sexual experience with someone, is not an instant gratification piece. It's not a we met and we had sex and by the way, what's your name?
Yeah.
It's not that.
Yeah.
While it's not, let's look into each other's eyes and let's shack up. It is, at the end of the day, it's still a very personal experience. And I think that's been dictated by my experiences through college and through school. And it's weird because at every step, while I have very consciously always maintained that I'm transparent about being all for open relationships, and I don't believe in monogamy, and I don't believe in heteronormative relationships and all of that, somewhere down the line I've always looked for the human connect. And that's why whenever I've met people, it's always been about establishing that relationship. And then, sure, there's sex. There is a very clear transaction of fluids.
I don't know. I know what you're getting at. I feel like you're looking for a fucking needle in a haystack, considering how the world is right now. Maybe it's easy for you. Maybe it's one of those things where you are asking the universe for it, so the universe will give it to you. But honestly, for me, the only thing I look for is emotional maturity, emotional depth, and some sort of sensitivity. If a person has these three things, it's my gay slot machine. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
This person, just emotional depth. I feel like everybody's so surface level nowadays, and everybody has so many walls, including me. I am like fucking Junagadh Fort, right? Of walls.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't want anybody fucking getting to know who I am really as a person. And everybody's got their walls. I get it. But I just feel like if someone just is transparent in whatever way,
exactly.
and from a place of, again, I keep saying emotional depth, because I don't know the older I get, those are the kind of things I find attractive now. Like someone who's just capable of understanding that they can be horrible, they can be good, they can be bad, self-aware in a lot of ways. That that's all I look for. And
would you fuck younger you?
Would I fuck a younger me? Definitely. Definitely. I would.
And tell me why. Like what kind of a...
I was very cute.
So what kind of an interaction would that be? Like
kind of
college you?
Like I am talking to myself, college self. And
like today, if you had to pursue 20-year-old Farhad in college.
I'll tell you what. There's no way to answer this without being a fucking cocky ass motherfucker. But man, I always feel like I was emotionally depthful myself. I've always felt that. I felt like I've always had a no judgment, a no black and white. I kind of tend to see everything the way it is. I would have definitely found that very attractive about me, about younger me. I know that already. I'm just saying that I know this only because of the kind of art I used to consume, the kind of pop culture I used to consume, the kind of friendships I've harnessed or cultivated over the years. I feel like if that's any reflection to me right now as a 35-year-old, I would definitely fuck 20-year-old Farhad. I would fuck the shit out of him. 7 shades of shit out of Farhad. 20-year-old Farhad. He was kind of fat though, not my type. I used to be 120 kgs when I was 20. So a lot to hold on to, but very fuckable. What about you? Would you fuck you? Younger you?
Not the 20-year-old, because I was still discovered too many things were going on in my head. But the post-grad guy, oh, totally. I think I would be in a relationship with him. And like for perpetuity.
I'm just, we are having this conversation, but anyone who's listening, I'm just thinking, what the fuck are these narcissistic motherfuckers on about? Look at them talking about fucking themselves.
But I think I would.
No, everybody should want to fuck themselves.
That's the aim. That's the aim, right? Like,
live your life. Especially if you're a younger person, that's a good thing to do. Start living your life right now in a way that when you're 35, 40, 50, you want to every time fuck a previous version.
And start building yourselves in a way that you would want to fuck the future you.
Yeah. And the best part is... you can have unprotected sex with your...
I know. That's
with your previous self. Oh my God.
We are not condoning that. Just to put it out there.
No, with yourself.
With yourself, it's okay.
Ho gaya.
But otherwise, do not.
Duniya mein aaye ho to love kar.
Why?
I don't know why. On that note.
What a cheerful conversation this has been.
Yeah, no?
Yeah.
Although I don't miss college at all. But
I do.
Great.
I do a little bit.
But you are at least going to get a piece of college again when you
Yes,
meet all
I
your
will.
friends.
Can't wait for it.
Yeah. So that was a conversation about colleges and college experiences.
And if you have... other topics like that you want us to kind of talk about and explore, and you have your viewpoints on that, why don't you write to us?
If you don't, we will stop doing this podcast and you will feel miserable and your life will go downhill. So shut the fuck up and just tell us what you want to hear us talk about. Otherwise, it's us talking about fucking ourselves.
Yes, exactly.
Please. Yeah. And if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcasts.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow Sunetro on
@glitterbugged on Instagram.
You just want people to slide into your DMs. Twitter nahi deta hai tu kabhi. Kya hai iska? Dick pics?
I'm all about the images, not the words.
Imagine a freaky thing would be you get a picture from your younger self.
Oh,
sending a
jeez.
dick
Oh, my
pic.
God. That's
Okay.
a sci-fi plot.
And if you'd like to get in touch with me, Farhad, just look up Farhad Karkaria on Instagram or at The Curator. That's THEQR, the digit 8R. That's complex, but deal with it. All right. So that's our episode for this week. We will see you soon again. Bye.
Bye.
Hi guys, this is Ayushi.
And I am Ritasha.
And welcome to Agla Station Adulthood.
It's a fun podcast we've got going on, and we'd love for you to tune in and enjoy with us.
Join us as we stop at various stations and discuss different topics that seem to be bothering us and hopefully
Dating,
you as well.
relationships, beauty, just being an adult, lots of different things.
We don't have a great grip on it, but we've done okay so far.
Catch Agla Station Adulthood every Thursday on the IVM app, the IVM website, or wherever else you get your podcasts.
Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Careers in the New podcast series presented by Accenture, and I'm your host Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay. In this podcast series, we'll get you the latest and greatest in the world of technology that's shaping the future of business as we know it. We're talking intelligent platforms, cloud, AI, blockchain, extended reality, and a whole lot more. Every fortnight on Wednesdays, we'll have for you a hot topic with expert speakers from Accenture talking about top trends in the space, how these are changing the world and creating growth across industries. And more importantly, we'll tell you how you can learn more, build your skills and expertise to grow and stay relevant in your career. Episodes out on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcast from.